need to print it. Hold on, wait a second. Hey, welcome. I gotta get the stand. I came in here without the stand. Oh, shucks. I need the stand for the Puff Daddy. Alright, I'm kind of slow. What I do with my stick? Oh, shoot. I wanted to show y'all the, I can't. Yeah, let me turn on my laptop. I gotta plug it up. Ain't no sense in me going all the way over there. Hey, y'all. I was trying to get the verdict and talk about a lesson that we can learn from this situation here. So here I gotta get my laptop. They took and put the cord all the way over here. Right? Hey y'all. What up though? I'm getting ready to show the video. Show the Puffy. Let me charge up my get a little charge on this hi. Get a little charge on my laptop so I can put it on there so you can see it from the laptop. I don't know how to stream yet. I'm gonna work on it, but what up though, y'all? Faithful Friday. I was wondering what we can learn from this this situation with Sean Combs. It's a lesson out of everything. You know, this is, you know, worldly, but it's also entertainment, media, so forth and so on. But it's what we live every day, day to day, in our community, our cultures, our little closet, if you will, because that's what it seemed like. Everybody's in a closet or in a place that's trying to get out. They can't and don't know a way to do it. But the only way there is through Jesus Christ. That's it. That's it, and that's all. So the lesson is, what is it to gain the world and lose your soul, right? And that's the lesson from this. You can have all the riches in the world. You can have everything that you possibly want. You can control people with it but for so long, you know? But after a while, it's just like, you know, you just a prick with money. You just a prick with money, that's all. Let me turn that down because this is a commercial. But yeah, you just a prick with money because after a while, people don't care nothing about you having money, especially being in the judicial system. So that scripture, I want to see if I can. All right, give me a chance. Come on. Oh, you got like this one. It's dead. To gain the world and lose your soul, and also you have to be humble. You have to be accountable. You can't be arrogant and abusive and all those things and then say that you changed and you didn't. So the lesson from this, God will sit you down. He will get you where you don't want to be. And I just say it just that way. You know what I mean? But we all have to cross the bear. You reap what you sow, you know, and what you put out is what you get back, you know? So he has have a slow death even if he do get out of prison, it's like your brand is you. It ain't about whether you got Sean John perfume or if you got this cologne or whatever, but you are your first brand. You know what I'm saying? So once you mess that up, it's really hard to come back from that, especially when it's a whole bunch of people, a whole uh, world span of folks that know about you and your misfortunes or your bad choices that you made. It's hell of a hard to come back. See, it's easy to get in trouble, but it's hard to get out of trouble. And I learned that the hard way. So we trying to get this Puffy thing going on, to see what the verdict is. Um so even if he does walk and he doesn't get the time that he should deserve, but the deserve as I guess the uh the civilians and the media people and the social media and internet feel away, but God has the last say so. He got the last say so. So with that being said, he'll come out, but how will his days be? How will his days be? Seriously. So you got to pick a side. I decided to pick a side. Hi, Tracy, local learners. It does. That's the smoke and mirrors. That's the smoke and mirrors. Fun. It's the fun part. It's the fun part. I'm the one that was the fun. I just wanted. I was. Oh man, was I? I don't owe it anything. So that's why I said there's always a lesson to learn, because I never was like a selfish person. I always like gave and stuff like that. Maybe to have friends or what have you. But I did a lot of things that it was started off little, and then it just became to be uncontrollable. You know. I'm an overcomer all the way around the board. You know what I mean? I used for 30 years as a teenager. You know what I'm saying? But I was like it was like a party type of thing. It was a party thing. We did it on the weekends. You know what I mean? I was functional. I went to college. I did all that stuff, but I tore myself apart, and I mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, the whole 9 yards, and I grew up in church. And I get it. I understand. I overstand. So it's a lesson for everybody, each and every one of us. You got to appreciate the little bit to get a whole lot. That's what I try to, I guess I would say preach to my sons, about, God won't bless you with anything if you don't take care of the little bit that you have. He want to see that he can trust you with the small things. Because if he give you something big and you ain't ready for it, all you're going to do is mess up, right? So, that's the thing. And I was stressed yesterday. I had to go to therapy and stuff. And it's like that really wears me out. Excuse me. That wears me out. And I got in the lift to go on to therapy. And it was the lady that was in there. And I had tears in my eyes. And I just cried because it just feel like the more you try, it's like being on an escalator. It's like going up the steps and you're not getting nowhere when you're on the escalator. So patience is something that I have to work on. That's the really be the probably the detrimental of me, is my patience and my, I would say, anger. I'm not an angry person, but I can get, I can like go there. For my reason, I guess. I'm not gonna do it just for any, and I don't pick on and things like that. But those are the things that I'm accountable for, and we all have to be accountable, and that's what God wants us to be, is accountable. So that's when you repent, then you being accountable for what you do, you know. So that's the same thing with everything else, you know. Integrity means so much. It really means a whole lot, you know. It's about what you do when people aren't when people aren't watching. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. Yeah, my battery is low. I already know. I'm gonna have to go through all this diggamajig. Cause guys, I really haven't been on my business tip. Um, so they get ready to come on outside um of the courthouse. So I know to be locked away is a bad situation in order for you to do right, but some people have to have that um the fly right, you know. Cause there's those that situation to change anybody. Anybody. You can't see it that good, but I'm trying to get it on my laptop. It's got a scan. Got all that on here. Oh, shucky ducky. Everybody's out there on the puffy thing. Alright, here we go, YouTube. Tomorrow I need to go get me more gigs for. Let me see, Tracy. That's it. You can't see it that good. Yes. Yes, thank you. So I'm trying to get it on here. I asked for that. So let me see if you can't see it from there, but you can hear it a little bit. Once I get it up on the computer, nobody's talking. They got a real close view. This is Too Strong. Shout out to Too Strong.
No, they have not come out yet. You cooked it. I ate this fish on you. Now I gotta run again. Let's see. I'm gonna leave this up and Marlon because if he comes out the door.
I need to take me a little medicine or something because I left my tripod. You can't even hear him. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you, goodness. Thank you, God, for that.
Yeah. All right, so just stay tuned with us, y'all. And so if he come in while I'm talking, yeah, I'll take myself back to school.
You breaking up, man. It get ready to come out. So I got it on the laptop. So who is the best? I think Too Strong. They really informative. Oh, they got the CVS out there. get on here. That's Associated Press. You can't do it that well. Alright, so you can't see it. So they outside, they waiting for them to I guess do the closing. And so this is outside of the District Court in New York. So Diddy's sentencing, and this is Too Strong Podcast. Shout out to Too Strong Podcast. They're here on the set, right in front of the door. They have a good view. This is the Puffy trial. This is the Puffy trial. Today is his sentencing. And I just wanted just to know, or just just your thoughts on, if you can put it in the chat about God having the last say so and karma. Karma. Yeah, karma. So what do you think about that? Whether the judge, whether he gets a lot of time, or if he gets time and Trump pardons him. Because you can't gain the whole world and lose your soul. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to do it. And all the sins that we have, sins that we make, you have to pay for them. You have to, because if you don't pay for them, then the next generation does. You know what I mean? The next people behind you, they get it, or their kids. So they out there laughing. Share the live. Share the live. So these people said they've been on here all morning. I have also back and forth on TikTok listening to what people are saying. So they're talking a whole lot about that on the TikTok, huh? So they said they had all his children speak. All of the children spoke. They had a pastor that spoke. The mom, I don't think the mom didn't do any thing. And then I think that they said that the people that wrote the letters, the girls, the women that wrote the letters for him, they didn't show up. They didn't show up. So it's just a whole mess. But we too old to be getting in trouble. But that's the things that um stuff catch up with you. And that's when you don't be accountable and you just keep digging a hole and digging a hole and digging a hole and you just keep digging. You know? So he did a lot. It's like a lot. It's so much. Like it's just like so much. What do you think? This Diddy sentencing. So we waiting on them to come on out. Well, we waiting to hear what the judge what it was his final analysis, or his final his the final destiny. You know, because to go here is like going to a nursing home. I think a nursing home probably will be a little better than this court place. They is having a good old time. And I have restreamed, but I don't know how to stream, guys. I'ma try once I get off. Let me get him a like. Oh, you can't give him a like. Live outside of Diddy's trial, U.S. District Court, New York. He got to see the real man in charge. That judge can give him that, but he ain't gonna get but so much time, and he gonna be ostracized. You know, he gonna spend all his money gonna be taken because everybody gonna sue him. Everybody on a civil suit for him. How they let people get away with just all that? Like that's just so it just goes to show you how the world is. Yeah, share, y'all. Let me turn this up. You can hear it from the background, too.
Video progress bar 6 hours, 46 minutes, 29.
I know they get ready. They should be ready today. It's Friday. I know they ready to go home. That's a lot of talking. Everybody done said they piece. They waiting on the judge. I was trying to turn the volume up on here. Oh, there you go.
What are you doing?
And my Rest Ever Cool Comforter.
What is that?
It's a cooling comforter that makes you literally sleep cooler because the science is in, and
Oh,
sleep
shucks,
cooler,
y'all.
you actually wake up feeling more rested and your day's better.
They
And
giving
your
us
life's
the
better.
commercial.
Science is in,
Muting.
and if you sleep cooler, you actually wake up feeling more rested, and your day's better, and your life's better, and it's
Oh,
a
y'all, we
simple
gotta watch the commercial.
Okay,
That's how they make they bread. All gotta watch the commercial. That's how we get paid. So hope you guys didn't mind. What is it to gain the world, whole world, and lose your soul? To be soulless is this like, shh. Mm. I've really seen it do a person's eyes, like for the first time, like it was just, oh, it was so cold and dark. The eyes was dark. It was just so cold looking. When I used to live at 23rd and Diamond at the housing project, and it was a kid that was name was Sean, and he looked so cold, like he was so cold. His eyes, you can just, I don't know. It was just creepy, like. So I saw that like live like live, and that's what I believe that these people here, that's what they are. Soulless. It's that's a dark entity. Their eyes is even black, and we don't have black pupils. We supposed to have brown ones. It can be dark brown, light brown, and up, but not black. So just watch the eyes. The eyes is the window of the soul. you can kind of tell what you working with. So people coming out. Oh, that ain't nobody. He looked like a parole officer or some type of FBI, the one that came out with the baseball hat in the back. Him. Oh, he a detective. I gotta get that other stool. They should have done deliberated already. I ain't hear nothing. Ain't nobody no buzzing and saying no time. I don't need to check. Oh shoot, my bad, y'all. I'm trying to figure it out over here. That ain't working. Put it back in the case. Hey, girlfriend. I don't know how to stream it. So I gotta just do it like this, yo. I have restream, but I don't have. But listen, this is what I was saying about a lesson to be learned. A lesson to be learned, as far as uh this situation, this the whole situation. And I said the scripture, I don't know the address, I gotta look it up. But what is it to gain the whole world and lose your soul? So you have all these riches, you have all these things, stuff, but you soulless, like you just soulless. You just a shell with nothing in it. You know, it's like a shell of yourself. That's a horrible situation. So you don't gotta be dead in the ground. You could be dead on earth, and it's worse. I think it's worse to be dead on earth than it is to be in your resting place. I really believe so. I believe so. So the lesson is you can't take what you have and act like you got it on your own. You gotta have some type of appreciation, accountability, some type of morals and integrity, because the integrity comes in when ain't nobody watching you what you do. So you know when ain't nobody watching him how he moves. So he just messed up. There's a whole lot with this going on with him. It's not just one thing. It's just so sickening. But those are the choices that we make, and fun is what Tracy said. It starts off as fun, and then it goes all the way to it gets out of control. It's going to get out of control, and yeah, especially when there's drugs involved in it, and it's just supposed to be just fun. We just kicking it, just doing it. Cause as I just said to me before, if y'all wasn't on when I came on in the beginning, that I used and I did it for fun. But then after fun, it became to be more than what I bargained for, And I've been clean since 2013. Yeah, but before then, I've been doing this since a teenager, and that's what we did. We partied. The old heads gave it to us. That's the thing. When we talk about the youth and how they act, it's just a different time, but the same bull crap was going on then. The all that kids stuff you ain't supposed to be doing and all that kind of stuff, where they groom you as what's the name. So everybody was just like sickos. And that's the thing about having a healthy mind. You can have a lot of money. You can you can be a bad motorcycle. You can have muscles. You can have green eyes. You can dress Gucci down to the socks. You heard? You can do all that. But baby, if you ain't got the brain, or it ain't functioning or thinking right, all that stuff don't make a difference. It don't even make a difference. It's a waste. It's like dead men walking. It's like it is dead men walking, in a sense. So, and that's what that thing mess with you. Them drugs, it messes with your whole. That's why so many people have mental illness. It's not that they was born with it. It's not that it was passed down. Maybe it can be. Sometimes it can be. But majority of rules, the drugs is what created the all that. Even if you got slip something that you ain't supposed to have, or it's just to made you like, just spook out. I mean, just freak out, schizophrenia, and all that old kind of nonsense. So You know, and they put it out there for it. That's the whole thing, is depopulation. However you can get rid of, that's how they do it. They talk about the addiction and the drugs and the so forth and so on, but the citizens and the civilians and people, we don't bring it over here. We only can get it because somebody is bringing it so you can get it. So it's a design situation, but you gotta pick a side. You gotta pick a side. You gotta take the side where you're gonna take the side where there's a whole bunch of people going one way, or you're gonna take the road of less travel. So the road of less travel. You back here, you need a new battery in your smoke detector. You know, that's what you hear it. I don't know where it's coming from. Thanks, Trace. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yes, it's been a road. It's been a road, but I feel so much. It's like I never thought I would even get here. Like I never thought that I would um times when I would like pray and be like, I don't want to be like this and stuff, you know? Um just like tearing my body and how my children was going to find out or look at me away or whatever. But yeah, that's nonsense. And the stuff that they have now, that stuff is not, that stuff is whack, as Whitney Houston say. That stuff is, she said, crack is whack. But yup, soon as I stop using is when you get, that's when whatever is wrong with you, it start breaking down. So that's how that go. I stopped smoking cigarettes in 2018. I used to smoke cigarettes since I was a teenager, and it was like I didn't even like cigarettes. But my friends would smoke, and they would be like, "You ain't cool because you don't smoke." So that same type stuff was going on back in the 80s, and I used to sit and practice, like really, practice to smoke. And I've been smoke ever since. But yeah, I don't smoke no more. Them things is, whew, if I had known that those things smelt like that, or I smelt like that, I would have never touched it. When I say I thought I was sexy, I be at the bar smoking my cigarette with my leg crossed. I be sharp though. Y'all be sharp now. Yeah, that's how you do it. You camouflage it with your costume. Yeah, but I'm free. So that's why I'm so grateful and so thankful. I don't want to complain about anything, and I hate to even say if something's going wrong with me, and I like keep it to myself because I don't want to complain, or I don't want to seem like a burden. And you don't realize, you never know how it feels until you get in a position where you need like a little assistance, and it's a mess, y'all. But I'm striving to do better with my second chance around. I ain't messing around. So I learned my lesson, and I hope that what's his name, Sean, he got to do a lot of praying, a lot of fasting, a lot of everything to get forgiveness, because God will forgive him, but he got to turn his whole situation around. And I know everybody deserves another chance, but here they go. Here they go. Oh, that ain't nobody. But yeah, so they get, here you go. They get ready to tell you now. So they got the microphones up there. See the microphones? So now they done moved. First they was on the slant. So now they in front of the building, and all those, I guess those is the news people or the DAs or people coming out. Yeah, they bringing out their stuff. They the lawyers coming out.
In YouTube, unmuted.
I gotta go make my fish. I need some feta cheese and a bit. They making the people, but that's that thing over there. I gotta get it off the wall. I gotta have somebody get it off of there, get it off, take it down for me, Trace. They hear it. My sons, they hear that. Woo! He said, you hear them? Oh yeah, my computer is slower than the TV. Marion Olden Johnson, hello, he is the blessed man. It's Austin, how far the drive? Well, wait, nobody's know nothing yet. He's apologizing for everything. It wasn't his fault. You said it wasn't his fault. That's what I'm talking about.
Live stream of the Sean Puffy sentencing. He's in this federal courthouse behind me, and he's speaking. Welcome back to the UV News live stream of the Sean Puffy sentencing. He's in this federal courthouse behind me, and he's speaking now to the judge. He's trying to get out with time served. Prosecutors want him to spend 11 years behind bars. We have reporters inside the courtroom. They're telling me that Diddy is saying, I want to thank you for finally giving me a chance to speak up for myself. One of the hardest things I've had to handle is to be quiet, not to be able to express how sorry I am for my actions. He again apologizes to Cassie. She's one of his former girlfriends, and she was also one of the prosecution's star witnesses. And you may recall, she's also seen in that video of him beating her up. He's kicking her, he's punching her in the hallway of an LA hotel.
Did I miss something, y'all? I just got back. Tell me what I missed.
She also sent a letter to the judge saying that she doesn't believe he's sorry for what he did, and she doesn't believe he's a changed man, and she wants him to spend time in prison. He apologized to her for any physical or emotional harm he caused, and he said, I don't take that lightly. He also apologizes to another former girlfriend who testified against him. She used the pseudonym Jane. Diddy said, I didn't mean to hurt you. And he also apologized to Cassie's family. He also apologized to all his victims, to all victims of domestic violence, saying he knows that disgusting, despicable video of him beating Cassie triggered people around the world. Diddy also told the judge, my actions were disgusting, shameful, sick. I was sick. Diddy's lawyers have said that he is suffering from post-traumatic stress. They didn't say exactly what. Diddy's father died when he was a toddler. He was killed.
I ain't going for that now. That's not why he did what he did. Now they can cut that mess out.
Yeah, right.
Also telling us that
what that got to do with all that? He was 2 years old.
Is a burden he will have to carry for the rest of his life. Telling the court, my actions were disgusting, shameful, and sick. Now, Diddy gets a chance to address the court. He gets the last word as the defendant. Remember, he was found guilty of 2 counts of the Mann Act, which was related to prostitution. He was found guilty of flying around his girlfriends and male escorts for sex. That charge carries a maximum of 10 years. Now, the judge has gotten a sentencing suggestion from the court saying it should be 70 months, which is about 6 years. Again, Diddy is getting his chance to speak in court, and he let out an audible sigh after apology.
Wait, you renovated your home without refinancing or taking on a home equity loan?
Yep.
And no monthly payments.
Right before the judge will decide what his sentence should be. Will he be out, or will he spend the next several years in prison? Reporting live from the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan, I'm Julie Walker. This is the AP News live stream of the Sean Diddy Combs sentencing.
So still nothing. I thought when I came back, I knew Brown was gonna be on the screen. No, nothing yet. Wow. Wow. I hope this thing get wrapped up before. If it don't get wrapped up here pretty soon, they gonna delay it. And Brown might end up trying to figure out a way to stay another day if he can. Man, that's crazy, right? That is crazy. Man, these glasses is not right. I got some new glasses, y'all. We need some new glasses. So y'all still think he gonna get all these years or what? Now they down to what? They went from 11 years to 7. They want to go. Oh man. Oh, they took a comfort break. Oh. I hope it's over with today too. I'm pretty sure it will be. I don't think the judge is gonna let this go past because it's just too much. It's gonna cost the courts more money, even more money to extend it. And yeah, I think they're gonna get this thing over with.
Well, he had the money. They charge you the money, the restitution.
Sure, I'm all up on the screen.
The defendant got to pay all that stuff back.
I gotta get some new ones, man.
So they do. Wow. They tally up a bill for you.
I'm gonna try to read nothing because y'all gonna be like, this dude cannot read. Man, I'm gonna try. Hold on. On October 3rd, 1995, O.J. Simpson was acquitted on October 3rd, 2025. Sean Diddy Combs was sentenced. Oh man.
Yeah, that's that gematria shit stuff. Yeah, that's a code.
Ooh.
Come on, man.
I don't know, Legacy Bunker. That's a good question you asked there. Oh. I thought that didn't look right. I thought something was finna go down. I believe he would get something. Yeah, he might. I don't know.
I think everybody's gonna be shocked.
I think we headed for a shocker.
Yeah, that's how we said it at the same time. We said it at the same time.
Let me get settled in. I'm gonna come right back in. Let me get settled in. I gotta deal with the kids real quick. You gotta listen to them for a minute. Make sure they got some good eats to eat until their mama get back. So I'm here, y'all. I ain't going nowhere, but I gotta come off the screen for a minute again. Please forgive me.
Hold on, wait, let me see something else. Who is this? Let's see. So I'm trying to see if somebody else talking was out there. I guess not. I don't remember seeing no microphones up there. Let's see here. This trade. My dog on the knee, yo. That son gonna hurt. Let's see. I'm gonna do it back here. I gotta go to the bathroom. So I'll be back. What the heck did I do with my stick? I must have left it outside. I knew I should have got batteries today. get my stick over there. It is. I gotta hang that up. That is getting on my nerves too. Oh, here they go.
says a lengthy sentence is needed for deterrence. Unconvinced that if Mr. Combs is released, that these crimes won't happen again. The judge is casting doubt on Combs' pledges not to repeat his behavior. Note that even after Cassie's lawsuit, after the searches of Combs' homes, after the Cassie video emerged, that after Combs issued an apology for it, he still brutally forced Jane into a hotel night with a male sex worker, according to her testimony. Now, as I said, Combs had a chance to address the court, and he basically said to the judge what was in his 4-page letter to the judge yesterday. He's a changed man, that he's sorry, that he realizes that sorry just doesn't cut it, but that he is sorry, that he plans to never be back in criminal court again, that he deserves to get off with time served. He spent 13 months in a metropolitan detention center in Brooklyn. And some of the other things that Combs said to the judge is that to prove he's a changed man, he taught a class in prison for other prisoners. He taught a class at the NBC jail for other inmates on life skills. One of the things that did emerge today is that Combs has a speaking engagement planned for next week. And the prosecution said to the judge that how can he have a speaking engagement when we expect him to do jail time? He's not even out yet. He's planning speaking engagements in Miami and in other cities. Now let's take a look at what's going on in front of the court. If we can just push in over my shoulder here, a big crowd of people, many of them supporters. They've been here all day. Every once in a while, a cheer goes up. But they're also waiting for the judge to hand down his sentence.
Scribe is how 4 million people turn processes into step-by-step guides. The hardest part of any job.
But the government proposes 135 months is more than necessary. Court agrees that a serious sentence is warranted, but 135 months is more than necessary. So Combs is sitting with his hands collapsed at his lap as the judge speaks. He's paying attention to what the judge is saying. Combs has been an active participant in his trial the whole time. He's got a lot of lawyers, and he was consistently whispering with them throughout his entire trial. He was consistently writing notes down. So now the defense is proposed. Now the judge is saying that Now the judge says that the defense's proposal of a 14-month sentence would not be sufficient. Okay, so Combs and his lawyers wanted 14 months. The judge says that would not be sufficient. The prosecution wanted 135 months, and the judge said that's more than necessary. Now, sentencing guidelines, it was suggested 70 months, so let's see what the judge says. So right now the judge is saying that the prosecution's recommendation didn't factor in mitigating factors, and the defense recommendation didn't factor in aggravating factors. So the judge is taking all of this into account. And remember, Sean Diddy Combs was found guilty in July on 2 counts of the Mann Act. That's a prostitution-related charge for flying his ex-girlfriends around along with male escorts to engage in sex. The judge says the facts and the circumstances of this case are unique. Sentence 50 months. 50 months. The judge is giving Sean Diddy Combs 50 months in prison. Now, we spoke to a legal expert earlier who said that his team is sure to appeal this. But the judge has sentenced Sean Diddy Combs to 50 months. That's 4 years and 2 months. So just over 4 years in prison. Now, he's already served 13 months in jail. We'll have to see how that factors in. Again, Sean Diddy Combs and his lawyers had asked for 14 months. They expected him to be out and a free man and back home with his family and on a speaking tour. The prosecution asked for a lot more. They wanted 135 months, which is basically 11 years in prison. The judge said that was too much. So Sean Diddy Combs, 4 years and 2 months, sentenced to 4 years and 2 months by the judge for the prostitution-related charges that he was found guilty of. He was acquitted of the charge of racketeering. He was acquitted of the charge of sex trafficking. Those would have carried a maximum, or could have carried a maximum life in prison. Instead, according to the judge, he is sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in prison.
It's going to be some mad people out here. Yeah, I didn't think they would give him no 10, 11, 20, 15 years and all that stuff. So Marlon should be out here soon.
But you will have a life afterward. Let me repeat that. That quote from the judge. This is hard time in prison, away from your family, friends, and community, but you will have a life afterward. Combs is 55 years old. 4 years, he'll be 59. We're going to have more on the sentencing of Sean Diddy Combs, more on what went on in the courtroom. We have reporters there now. They're wrapping up inside. The judge is still speaking. I imagine that Combs and his family are not happy with this sentencing. And we're going to have more, so stay with apnews.com and the AP News app to get the latest on the Sean Diddy Combs sentencing.
Wow. Now that's still a win for him. That's still a win for him because this could have been worse. I think at this point we can take this one down. Let me see. I can be done with this one. Remove. All right. Yeah, I think that so what did they say, 50 months? Yes, that's like four years and some change. Yeah, he'd be out in a couple of years, about 2 or 3 years. Less, because he might get 85. I had to do the math. I can do the math for that. So you take 50 months, 85% of that, and then you subtract the time served, so which is 13 months. So that's the solution. So take 80 months. Who good at math here that can do it for me right quick? 80 months and 80. So it's 85% of. I'm sorry, 85% of 50 months. 85% of 50 months, and then take minus 13 months from that, and that's how much time he got left. So he won't be too long. Boy, hold on. I want to see what, because I know Tisa will be out before Marlon, because she got probably priority out there. Let me try to find her and see if she live yet. No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. So Diddy, Diddy got to go to prison, but it's not so bad for him. And that's good. He don't need to be, look, I don't understand how anybody want that man to do 20 years. That's cruel. That's cruel. It is. You know what I'm saying? I understand the things that he was alleged to have done, but it has not been proven. How would you like to have to go to court and go to prison for 20 years for something that has not been proven? That's not right. I don't think that way, and I'm so glad I don't. That's too much. That's too much anger to have. You know what I'm saying? That's just too much anger to have for somebody that was not proven to be guilty. He was not proven to be guilty, whether he was or he was not. and to be that sensitive about his family, insensitive about his family and his kids, is kind of relentless. It's kind of, to me, this is to me. That's just my opinion. Merlin may feel different. I'm just telling you how I feel. I don't know. I just can't justify rooting for that man to get 20 years, knowing that he was not found guilty of all these things. And on top of that, he got a family and kids like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? He got some kids that he was raising. His kids going to school and stuff. I think there's Buck Wilder doing some wild stuff. But apparently, if he learned, he'd be much better off. You can't hear? Y'all can't hear me? He'd be much better off. Yeah, 4 years is more than enough. It's not enough time for what? Like, what did he do? Look at his charges. His charges don't carry all that time like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I guess you got to understand the system that the feds use. It's a guideline, and the guideline didn't say 20 years. That was like the max under the worst, under the worst circumstances, and that wasn't him. It ain't like he was pinning nobody down and raping them. Okay, yo, hold on a minute. What's going on? Okay, Merlin is out, so I think he's gonna end up doing like 3 years with the time serving and everything. But we got to add that up again. He is out of the courtroom, and yeah, he said that they was hot. But we told people it wasn't gonna be yeah, 5 and under. I can see 10, 20 years. Nah. This is what I be trying to tell y'all. Like, at some point, we got to face reality. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people want him to get a lot of time because they mad at him, and it's the black female thing, and or the female thing. The female, we got to stick together. That piece of shit. We want him 20 years. It don't work like that. People don't get sentenced based on your emotions. You know what I'm saying? And that's good for him. Good that he get to learn his lesson. You know what I'm saying? He get to think about what he did, pay for it, and come home, man, and be productive. Why ain't we rooting for this man to get himself together, knowing that he producing, he got kids out here? We would want him to get out to take care of his kids and be with his family and lead them in the right direction, and perhaps maybe he can change. You know what I'm saying? But I agree. I don't think nothing is wrong with that sentence. I think that's fair. And yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's fair. That's it. I think it would have been unfair if he'd have got a bunch of time. Okay, somebody can't hear me. So, y'all can hear me. If you can't hear me, something wrong with your phone, not mine. Merlin is in here. What'd it do?
Yo, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Break it down, man. Break it down.
Oh, right. All right, so first things first. Can you hear me clear enough?
I can use a little bit more volume, but we can hear you though.
Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can. Let me see if there's a Wi-Fi connection I can use. Hang on.
Okay. But for the record, we can't hear you.
Just checking this. You can. Okay.
Yeah. It could just be a little better, but we can deal with this because we want to know what the scoop is.
Oh, trust me, I'm gonna give you scoops on scoops.
Oh man, please.
All right, so we all know that he got 50 months, right?
Right.
So it'll more than likely be 50 months minus the 14 or 13 and a half months that he's already done. And it looks like that is what we had called about 5 months ago, 6 months ago. And we kept telling people there's no way he's going to get 10 years, 11 years, 12 years. He's not going to get that. People called us crazy and stupid and we sellouts.
But wait, we was right again, though?
But we was right again. We was right again.
Right.
Okay. Right again. Anyhow, so now that we have the verdict out the way, I'm going to go back because I got, when I say pages upon pages, I wrote nearly everything down. Okay. So there ain't nobody coming out here to lie or nothing.
Hey, see if you can give us a little bit more volume, Brown. Maybe get a little closer.
It's through here. Can you hear me better now?
Now, I mean, we can hear you, but I wish I could hear you better.
Hold up. Hold on now.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. I'm going to see. See.
Move your microphone right here.
Well, it's in the headphone, and that's the only way I can hear you is if I have the headphone in. That makes sense?
Yeah, I thought that mic was on your shirt.
No,
that's a button.
Yeah, that's a button. Hang on, let me unplug this. Hang on. I might lose you for a minute. Okay, hold on.
Oh no, but listen, they said they can hear you very well.
Oh. All right, so let's break this down, shall we? Let's break this down.
Yes, sir.
The prosecution got their hits first, and they started off their whole statement with going straight back to the domestic violence thing. They stayed away from the Mann Act the entire situation in the courtroom for the last 7 hours. All they did was talk about domestic violence when that's not even the Mann Act itself. And no matter how many times the defense tried to bring back case file after case file, it was more convincing on for the judge for him to listen to the fact that he beat this and beat that and beat the other. So when we finally got audio back in the room around 10:30, they started off right away saying that Mia was unable to come in to speak today because she was afraid because of the tone of the letter from the defense. The tone of the letter scared her to the point where she can't come in, but she could write the letter to send into the court. So she can testify through the letter, but not in person. When testifying in person is more safe, but you're still afraid of Diddy, and I can't make sense of that one. If you're afraid of him, why send a letter in at all to testify against him? But I digress. So they started off with that. Then they go into the idea that it was bullying on the side of the defense, and that's why he cannot consider anything that they say from here on out. The defense gets up, and he said that the children, a reverend, a officer, and about 2 other people were going to speak. Eventually they came up. Everybody was kind of long-winded to begin with, but and finally Diddy did speak at the end of the trial. So in the beginning, they are talking about the options for referencing. So the judge said that the prosecution was looking for a mandatory 135 months, but the defense was looking for 14 months. And so they started to flesh out their points of view about it. They went into the coercion and threats, and that was the reason why that Diddy should get what they call the maximum years, even though, again, none of it had to do with the Mann Act. They never talked about the prostitution on the commerce side, which is what I thought. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Corey, but isn't that the main focus of the Mann Act is the commerce side of it?
Yeah, because that's what...
Okay, they never... No, well, apparently not. Apparently not, because all they talked about is that he abused. And then at the end, this is what the judge said. I'm going to come back to where I'm at here, but listen to what the judge said at the end, which tells me I can't take him seriously. I'm sorry, but I can't. He said, while you did not profit from this monetarily, you profited from it with your ego. you are making an assumption that my ego was a good benefit and that equals the Mann Act, but not money.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
It didn't make sense to me either.
Because how do you determine that?
Bro, look.
Crazy check.
I sat there in shock and I thought, what the? Anyhow, so exactly what the? So the defense got up and sent consent of because they were trying to conflate two things about what's a victim versus what is an accomplice. So the judge was saying that what's her name? Ventura? Cassie was a victim, but at the same time, she was a accomplice because she was part of the freak-off. So, but she's also not guilty of the same thing Diddy is because she's a victim. But at the same time, she's also not a victim because she's part of the accomplice. I want you to try and make that one make sense.
Good luck.
Can you make that make sense for me? Okay.
Good luck.
All right. That didn't make sense to me either. Okay. I was confused, and they kept making that cross-reference. He also said that he was trying to make his decision not based on the acquitted acts, but he referenced a mandate for 3553A that how did he phrase this? He said he could not make the assumption that Diddy was, how the heck did he phrase this thing? Okay, so let me get this. I want to make sure I get this quoted completely right.
Yeah.
I don't want to misquote the man. The enterprise that he was running, even though he didn't make money, was part of the RICO Act, even though he didn't get guilty of RICO. So he has to consider the behavior of RICO under the context of the Mann Act to find him guilty.
I kind of understand what he's saying.
Okay?
Yeah.
So he's considering the behavior of RICO, but not the conviction of RICO, to make his assessment of the conviction of the Mann Act as well as the conduct of Mann Act. Although conviction for the Mann Act he never mentioned in his giving of time. Not once.
Wow.
He mentioned everything but commerce. He mentioned everything but business. And it was always about the Cassie beating video. And it kept coming back to the surface. Everything was about the Cassie beating video when it came to the prosecution. Now, this is where it gets crazy. So then comes a judge to tell us about how he's going to structure his ruling. He said, well, the offense is at a level 27, which warrants a 70-month time frame at a history level of 1, which means that he's never had an offense before. So it will be a 70-month at minimum if he were to go by these guidelines, $25,000 to $250,000. But the prosecution, of course, was still asking for the 135 months. So he had to make a split between the two, hence how he ended up with the 50 months. However, in between all that, there was a point where his lawyers, Diddy's lawyers, all came up to reference one thing in particular that the prosecution never addressed. And it was the reference cases that they brought up to make sure that Diddy was being seen and sentenced in a manner that was consistent with the Mann Act convictions, right? So the prosecution brought up one act in particular to a, where's his name? The man's name was, where's his name? Where's Dylan? The case was for a Mr. Dylan. Now they said Dylan was sentenced to 18 months, and they said that was the most similar case they had to Diddy's. However, what they omitted, and the judge had to call them on it, was that Mr. Dylan was in prison for 8 years in Guatemala for the same issue. So you can't use his case as a cross-reference to Diddy's. So they kept trying to bring up case files that had nothing to do with Diddy except for one thing. Guess what it is? Violence. They kept going back to the beating. This man beat somebody, and then he got Mann Act, so 80 years. That's what we need. Or this person got beating, and this one was Mann Act. So it's violence, so you got to give Diddy the same amount of time, except that all the cases they referenced, all of them had priors. In some cases, 4 priors before the final one that they were referencing. But again, the judge never tackled the Mann Act when it came to commerce.
Right.
Not one time. And for me, that was very telling, because even with the Dillon case, the man made $1.4 million on the stuff that he was doing, and they can't tell you how much did he made, because he didn't. He was more of a John than he was a pimp. So then the defense said, well, he was not a pimp because a pimp by design gets women to prostitute them out for money. You would not believe what the prosecution said in response to that. I don't think you'll ever guess what they said.
What?
They pulled a Whoopi Goldberg. And he wasn't a pimp.
Come on, man.
Look, I'm not lying. He wasn't a pimp. He wasn't a classical pimp. He was a pimp nonetheless.
Wow.
He wasn't a classical. He was a regular. Listen here. You have to understand the kind of pimp he wasn't a classical pimp where people paid him money. He still earned money by influence.
So
that was
his pimp.
That was his payment. No, wasn't a pimp. Just not a pimp.
Yeah.
And they said this crap out loud, bro. Like he wasn't a classical pimp.
Hey, was you looking around like, am I the only one here that heard that?
Like, how do you define a pimp versus a pimp? So they cited another case, a guy by the name of Lambden. And Lambden's case was also another one of those where he had multiple charges prior to, and the very last time he reoffended, and it was with kids. Mind you, the prosecution was citing a case with kids, and Diddy never messed with no kids.
Right.
So you see where they were already trying to skew the idea that what he was doing was so egregious that even with this particular reference point, it must be the same. That guy still only got 16 months.
Right.
The man that messed with kids got 16 months. Diddy didn't mess with no kids, 50 months.
Right. That's crazy.
Okay, yeah. So the defense got back up. They decided to lay out what they know Diddy has done. Of course, again, the prosecution stayed a lot to the emotions, and I wish that the defense had done the same. They were doing really good for the first 3 lawyers, and then the 4th one, Miss Westmore, stood up to talk. I really wish she hadn't done this, but she went into this whole emotional diatribe about Diddy and how his words changed her, and she was crying. She was crying.
The lawyer?
The black lady lawyer was up there crying, bro.
Come on, man.
I was like, you're doing too much at this point, lady.
You the lawyer. Why is you doing it? So you done snuck in there and gave him. She done had a freak off in the visiting room.
In the visiting room. She up there weeping, bro. Weeping and talking about how I met him some years ago when I was a struggling lawyer, and how his words meant so much to me. It made me cry and change who I am. They did too, and I think they could have actually, this is just me, I honestly think they could have got exactly what they wanted, which was the 14 months, if they stayed away from the emotion and let the family be the emotional one.
Yeah.
If they had only, and trust me, the kid spoke. All his kids. Okay? All. Including Quincy.
Was that a message to Murad that said that his kids don't like him?
Yeah. And to
Have you seen him again, by the way?
No, he was in, and he was sitting next to me. He got kicked out the room because he was sitting at the wrong table. Idiot. Anyway, Quincy was the first to talk. Now, I know how you feel about step kids, right?
Yeah.
So hear me out. This is what Quincy say.
Okay.
Quincy got up first, and he was barely making it. barely making it, he say, I want to thank my father, because that's who this man is. He is my father, and I want to thank him for all that he's ever done for me, and I do not want to see this man go to jail. He's called him his father in the courtroom to Diddy's face.
Right.
All right? Then came Justin. Justin said the same thing. This is my superhero. So they all went into really praising their pops. Then came Christian. Then came Jesse, Delilah, Chance, all of them. And they all spoke for themselves about their papa. And not one of them was without emotional issues. Because look, whether we like it or not, and this is going for people out there that think just because you think Diddy's a POS, that his kids can't love him. I got news for y'all. I was a POS before. My kids love me. I was a massive POS. I was huge. My daughter was around me when I was a POS. You think my daughter hates me? No. It just because somebody is like an absolute trash human being in terms of actions doesn't mean that it reflects on how their interaction is with their kids. You've told us this before, Corey. You were not a good father. But your sons love you. Your sons love you.
That's right. That's
okay?
Right.
So I want people to put that crap to rest, because I have a suspicion that both Tisa and Murad are going to come out here talking all kinds of crap about the kids. And I swear, if y'all do that, I'm going to find y'all on y'all video, and I'm going to go in on you. Because if we keep telling them to leave the man kids alone, and just because y'all don't have kids, and your kids don't have, probably what you did have don't like you, don't mean it applied to Diddy. I saw firsthand. Huh?
You'd be surprised. It was a few people in our chat. You'd be surprised.
Man, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Y'all need to stop. I was in the cafeteria and I got to see firsthand the kids. I almost went up to meet Christian, but I didn't want to intrude on their time because they looked distraught. The twins came in. They all sat at one table, and they were just kind of there, but they weren't partying. They were just somber because I think they kind of anticipated that he wasn't going to get out today.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw them firsthand, looking at them. And you know, Corey, just as well as I do, you and I share this ability to see people and figure out whether or not what you see is BS or not. They love their papa, man.
Oh, yeah, that's the easy part. Yeah, for sure.
Man, they loved it. They loved their daddy. And so, so once they had that done and they were talking about him, they went to the defense again because they were talking a lot. And they started to quote all of Cassie's statement from the case. This is where the prosecution started to get mad. So they were talking about the statements that Cassie actually made about Diddy, about how she loved him, and she didn't want to say no to him because she wanted to please him. And those were her statements, not one that the defense was making up, right? When the prosecution got back up, they were like, well, he only quoted that to paint her as the bad guy. But I'm like, but that's what she said.
She
I mean,
said
what
right,
do you want me
like
to do about the fact that there wasn't a single lie?
Right.
You said that she was on the stage. She said, and he quoted her because he was reading the manuscript. She said, and I wrote down the quote. He said, let me see if I can find it here. Okay, here we go. I agreed to the freak off because I loved Sean. I did not want him to think I was against him. I was just in love and wanted to make Sean happy. Those were her words.
I was in love, so I robbed the bank. So I
was in love, so I did a freak off.
Yes, man.
That's what she said. That's what it's her words. It ain't no misquoting or nothing. He read it straight off the paper. So then the prosecution was like, this is just a matter of them trying to frame her to make her look bad. She didn't mean that. She was under duress. But I'm saying, but hold on. She can't be under duress if she's specifying for you. If that's what she said, then that's what she said. They didn't put no meaning to it. They simply told you what she said.
Right.
So this went on for quite some time, the back and forth. But the prosecution really had less time talking than the defense did, which was okay by me because they needed to flesh out their case. And I think what they got to do was do what the prosecution did before, which was paint Diddy in a negative light. they got their chance to paint Diddy in a positive light, and they ended up playing this video, this montage of him doing all kinds of things, including that 3 charter schools that he started. We haven't covered that, but he started 3 charter schools that are still doing pretty good right now. In fact, they're pre-college courses and stuff. He started a course in the prisons to get men to be more entrepreneurial in their approach to business. And they were hoping that saying all that would give the judge an idea that maybe he should let him go so that he can continue doing this as part of his rehab, as well as get into substance abuse and mental treatment. I'm not saying that he is all of that. I'm just saying they have a plan of action that the judge didn't seem to agree with. Eventually, a guy named Giovanni Cyrus came up. He was a program for recidivism. He came up and talked. That didn't seem to make much of a difference. The judge said that I'm going to sentence you based on the Mann Act conviction, not on the RICO charge you got, but I have to consider the RICO in order to make the Mann Act charge. So by the end of the day, this is what Diddy had to say when he stood up to talk. And he sounded like a 20-year-old Diddy, if that makes sense. He don't sound the same. Do you remember that video he did on Instagram where he was all up in the camera crying?
Yeah.
He didn't sound nothing like that.
Okay.
He sounded smashed in half. Like he was not the same Diddy. I believe he's clean because he don't move the same. He don't sound the same. I will tell you this. I'm not saying he 100% changed, but it's not the same Diddy.
Okay.
Like at all. I do believe that he is on road. I'm not against the 3 years.
Right.
I'm not. I think he needs that time. I'm not for 14 months. I believe he'll be a better person after it, and I think this is the best option that we could hope for him, is that he got time, but not too much time.
That's right.
Which they can get less after an appeal anyway. So it's not like, I don't think he's going to serve 3 years. I think he might serve 2, possibly. So this was a synopsis of his statement. Now it's a long list that he started talking, right? He apologized to Cassie, apologized to Cassie's family, apologized to Jay, apologized to every victim of domestic abuse for the video that he was seen on camera doing. He makes no excuse. It was his fault. He said this 4 times. He said, I'm not using drugs as an excuse. I'm not using PTSD as an excuse. This was my fault. I did this, and I own up to it. 4 times he said this in the apology, by the way. He got lost in excess and ego, and his decision cost him his freedom. He has lost self-respect. He has broken me, and it has humbled him. He apologized to his 7 kids, and when he was apologizing to his kids, he didn't talk to the judge. He turned around and talked to his kids and apologized to them one by one. He apologized to his mom. He said, Mom, I failed you as a son. He apologized for failing his community. He apologized for failing his mission in the community. He owes people a chance to do better. And he says if given a chance, he's choosing to change. He can't change his past, but he can change his future. He asks for mercy and help, blames himself, again, 3 different times, and he thanks the jury and the judge for what they give him. He understands the severity of the Mann Act, and he takes full responsibility. That's 3. And he said no matter what anybody else says, he is sorry, and his children, he apologized for breaking them and being a poor father and example to them. So that was his whole thing. He never went into, well, it's because I had this happen, and he never did that.
Okay.
And I commended him for that, because he never went into the weeds about, if this hadn't happened to me, maybe I wouldn't. He said, I chose to do drugs. I chose to handle it this way, and I'm paying the consequences for it. And then he said at the end of it, he said, I'm good with whatever the courts put on me because I deserve it.
Wow.
That's what he said. So if you were to listen to what he said and then listen to the verdict, he is completely fine with the verdict, I think, because in his mind, he really is. This is why I say he's different, because he didn't have no, when they said the verdict, he sat there. He just took it. He took it, and I think I would say that he took it like a man.
Oh,
He understood.
wow.
This was my doing. I did this. I can't fight it. I'm not going to. I understand that his lawyers are going to do the legal thing and appeal and do all that. I get all that. But I didn't see in him this want for him to, you got to get me out of here, man. I don't deserve. That wasn't Diddy today. That wasn't Diddy at all.
I think he might change his mind and just do his time.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
How did his kids react?
They were also very somber. I think they might have expected him getting some time. Based on how I looked at them during the break, the lunch break, especially Christian, he was one of the ones that was like, he looked resolved that his dad was going to do time. Like I don't know how else to explain it. Like I think he was anticipating that his pops was not going to be getting out. The girls didn't break down and cry or nothing, but the twins had the hardest time speaking of all of them. I'm shocked this up to me, but I didn't know Diddy had another kid, a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I didn't even know that. So he hasn't seen that kid for a year, almost a year.
Yeah.
And so they were speaking on that kid's behalf. But the three that broke down the worst were Christian and the twins and the oldest daughter. But overall, they handled the situation pretty good. There was no riotous behavior from nobody. There were more people here that were upset at the time he got and thought he shouldn't get any than I thought I would see.
Wow.
Like the room I was in was about 30 people strong, and I would say about 15 to 16 of them were against giving him any time at all.
Oh wow! So how did the other people act, the other influencers or whoever they were, about like what was their whole energy about after he got
laughing about it? They laughed about it. Yeah, like the ones that were against him were all laughing. And a few of them were clapping about it. Yeah, laughing and clapping that he got it.
Oh, they was happy that he got time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, they weren't like pissed off that he got little time, because I think by the time. So the judge kind of messed with him a little bit, like, because he freaked me out too. He started talking about what was warranted, right? So at the beginning of after everybody talked, it was his turn. He started talking about how Diddy did good here and Diddy did good here, and when he was younger, he did all this, and then he said, but, however, your actions were blah, 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 and they warrant a significant amount of time. And then he took a pause, and in my head, I'm thinking, damn, he gonna throw the book at this.
Hey, you should have said duck, Diddy, duck.
I was like, damn, he gonna throw the book. He might get the 11 years. And then he said, but the prosecution is asking for too much as well. That's an egregious ask, and there's no way that's worth it. It's not gonna happen. 135 is simply too much. So in my head, I thought, okay, he probably gonna cut it down to about 90, maybe 90 months. I even wrote that down. Might be 90 months. And then he said, so, but we have to make it to where it's significant time for the crime, but not overly significant to the point where it's counterintuitive to the purpose.
Yeah.
So he ended up with the 50 months in there for the option of probation after a couple of years. However, there's also the time served issue. So he might actually only end up serving about 3 instead of 4 years. And then if he does have probation, it'll only be 2 served, and he might have 1 year probation. So I think right now they're going to submit, the prosecution and the defense are going to submit their discrepancies with what his verdict was. I don't think the 50 months is going to change, but I think the layout of the 50 months might change. Well, it might be, go ahead.
How that's going to work is, I was telling the audience, it's going to be 50 months. So he got to do 85% of 50 months minus the 13 months.
Yeah.
And so I haven't sat down and did the math on it yet, but whatever that is, that's that. They might mess around and give him, I mean, did they say, did they ever mention house arrest?
No, they didn't mention that. That was not an option. They just said probation, but it didn't say whether it's house arrest or supervised probation.
Okay, I got you.
I think that's part of what they're trying to. Because at the end of it, the lawyers were saying, "Oh, can you give us a chance to submit our requirements for what this 50 months might look like?" So I have a suspicion that come Monday, we're going to hear some more from it about the lawyers on Diddy's side, asking for not just a breakdown of that 50 months, but the time served, and to your point, maybe possibly house arrest for the last year of his sentence if he behaves within the confines of the rules within the jail. And he's already done that for a year anyway. In fact, he's done above and beyond acting the right way in jail. It's not even like he having a hard time doing that. The biggest issue I can see here is whether or not the judge is going to take any of that into consideration and probably play to the idea that we need to make it a point. We need to drive this home and make it an example of, you know how they do. So I can see that being the case too.
Tisa was looking for you earlier.
No, she was.
Yeah.
I didn't see her. I'm right here in the backyard now. Hold on, let me look. She right over there. She right over there in the corner. Hold on. Did I disappear? Okay.
Yeah. It just froze.
Can you see?
Oh, you see her for real?
Yeah, she right over there.
You said she talked to you.
She right over there live.
I wonder if she talked to you.
No, she over there arguing.
With who?
I don't want with herself. I don't want. Go find her live and see what she's saying, because I guarantee she's mad as hell right now. Look, she looked fired up as hell right now. She looked like she's super hot right now, like mad. Yeah, she mad.
Oh, there she go.
I guarantee you money she's talking about the kids too.
She tripping with that. I got her though. Hold on. I got her.
She right across the way.
Yeah, I just had her. Now lost.
But hear me out now. She got bodyguards around her now though.
Oh, do she?
She got 2 bodyguards, yeah. Yeah, big time bodyguards now. He already looked me up and down from where I'm at.
Oh, he did. Oh, he would.
Yeah, he constantly looking over my way. He looking over my way like a mofo right now, bro. He keeping an eye on me. He don't want me coming over there at all.
Let me
I think if I were to go over there, he'd come and say, "Hey, stop."
Yeah, he gonna put a stop to you.
Yeah.
I
ain't about to fight nobody.
I got her. Hold on. I got her now. Hold up. I got her now. Let's bring her up.
She is mad, bro, though. She
Man. Let me. Can y'all hear?
I can't hear.
I'll fix that in a second. Okay.
Escort roster was washed. I assume that you're paying for a genetic anomaly. Someone that looks like they came down from heaven. Every guy that he paid, I said, "Oh my God, that was our first term." That was my first thing that there was trauma in his life, because I was like, "There's no way you're paying $5,000 for that face." I don't care. I don't care. And they were like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It's only what's in the pants." And I'm like, "Well, how are you even going to get there? Because what are you doing?"
He spent way more than that.
Ain't this chick?
Yes.
Think about it. On his 50th birthday, he spent $1 million just on the pre-party.
Ain't she married, bro?
Millions.
I don't know.
Yeah, he spends millions on parties.
Trust me, they played that part.
Yeah, they were being men. So they said, "We heard you, and these are horrible acts." Again, it's more than people thought that it would actually, the Diddy people want it. But I still do think for everything Jane and Cassie and the women that didn't have the balls to come forward, right? For the women that dropped out, for the Ginas, for the this, for that. I do think that it should have been more. To send a message. But apparently, maybe he was right, because this message has the Didiots quiet. They are sitting there. They had nothing to say, right? He said there was nothing great, modern, or loving about this. We heard you. We heard these horrible acts. I know your families are proud of you. I am proud of you. He goes, good night. He said the pre-sentencing report, right? He told Diddy, you can go into the outpatient programs, get help for your mental and substance abuse. You weren't speaking to the jury. He told the girls, you weren't speaking to the jury, the victims. You spoke for all victims behind violence, behind closed doors. Most don't speak up. But what you taught us is strength out of a mountain of despair. Hope comes out of it. He said that shows that when out of a mountain of despair, the gem of hope comes out. I was just like, all right. He was in his poet bag. I was like, all right, cool. Valentine TV, thank you for the super chat. So that's what happened. Now, some of them are ridiculous things. It's oddly enough funny that what played out for the jury and what the jury seemed to eat up and love, when they tried that on Judge Aaron, it fell flat. Let me just say this, right?
Untrue.
When Nicole Westmoreland started breaking down, it was weird. And when I say she was breaking down, she was...
What say, boss?
Say untrue. The judge said nothing like that at all.
So she's lying again.
Yeah, okay, so when they start talking to the judge about the situations when it comes to Diddy and his rehab and the things that he was doing, right? The only thing the judge ever interjected in that time frame, unless she's only talking about his closing arguments, but during the time that the defense and the prosecution were talking, the judge rarely had anything to say except once to reprimand the prosecution for not mentioning the entirety of one case and to tell the defense that they can't bring certain amount of people up. That's the only time he spoke up. He never said anything about what worked on the jury didn't work on me. That never happened, not once. In fact, it worked on the judge because at the end of the situation, when he was given his verdict, he reprimanded the prosecution for asking for too much time because that was outlandish. Why did she mention that? Right. So again, she's so high and mighty on the idea that he should have got more time that she was so hell-bent on the 135 months or even more that she was ignoring the fact that this was a first-time offense. And even though they were mentioning cases where the judge had to reprimand the prosecution, she never mentioned that either.
Wow.
It's always been a biased situation. Now, again, I can be center enough to tell you that Westmoreland, she was doing too much. It was too much. You don't need to be out there being emotional. All you had to do was stick to facts.
Right.
You don't need nothing else. The lawyer's job is factual. You should have never. With the instant she got up there and started crying, it's like, come on, lady. Just stop. And she kept going on. She was just going and crying and crying and crying. I was getting mad at her because she jeopardizing the whole situation by doing too much. And then another lawyer came up, was about the same thing about, and he was all about equity and justice and black people. And like, bro,
he would go to black people.
He was doing so much in the black community, right? But he's like, he did so much for the black community. He put up schools and he did an outreach to black people.
That's all he was talking about. Like, bro,
and
all
he
you
taught
had
him
to
how
say,
to do freak offs the right way.
And right
way, and he taught him how to do drugs and gang bang. It was amazing.
That's how stupid you sound. All you had to do was go back to the case file, go back to situations where the cases were brought forward, tell the difference between this Mann Act conviction and that Mann Act conviction. And if you did that, you wouldn't have to go into,
well, he did so much for black people. If you only look at his black history, one idiot even said he's a great civil rights leader.
What?
Oh, God.
Come on, man. Look, Diddy's plenty things. A civil rights leader,
What?
he's not one of them.
Diddy should have slapped him.
Look, I will tell you though, Diddy did not have the air of confidence that he normally would have had. Now, to you said this before, right? You said everybody want to talk tough about, I'll go to jail. I even said that to her. I'll go to jail. Diddy finally went to jail, right? Jail one.
Hey, man, jail. Hey, look, Berlin. That's why when people say that, I say, hold on. I even actually say, have you ever been to jail?
Look, jail one, because Diddy ain't the same. All that talk, house confinement might be one thing, but jail.
Hey man,
Jail
listen,
messed him
Brown,
up.
jail is a bad mofo.
What?
I'm telling you. You can say, oh, I'll just go to jail. Okay, go and see.
I know this much. I know this much. Overall, what was confirmed today was what we thought all along, that the prosecution did not have their eggs in a row. They didn't know what they were doing. What they kept harping on was something that he was never convicted on. But unfortunately, like we've always said too, that emotions will always trump facts, even with a judge. Because even with his verdict, he never talked about what the Mann Act's main focus was, which was commerce, and in fact went to the idea that even if it wasn't commerce by money, it was commerce by power and influence, and that was your currency. And that's bull. That is bull, because that's not the edict of the law. If you're a judge, you don't get to put emotional spin on something that's an actual tangible thing. You're supposed to be able to list, you made this amount of money from this particular act. You can't do that. You can't list me one place where Diddy made money from any of the things he did to constitute the Mann Act being violated financially. Not one spot. And they couldn't do it. The prosecution couldn't do it. The judge couldn't show it. In fact, he bore that out in his whole statement about you didn't make a profit by money, but you profited from motive and you profited from influence.
Wow.
So I think people, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I think that might actually be to their detriment, because if they were to take this to appeal and that statement is on record, they might get some ground traction with that when it comes to satisfying the appeals process.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna file an appeal.
Look, honestly, I don't hope he does. I hope he doesn't, because I really want people to say to not be able to say he got off.
Yeah.
If he serves his time, seeing that it's only 3 years, I know it's gonna be hard, but I think if he just serves his time, they ain't gonna have nothing. I mean, they can say something, but they won't have any real grounds to stand in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
But overall, they did not present, which is what we've been telling people for a while. The prosecution did not present enough information to give the jury, and I think this is all, someone brought this up in the courtroom. They didn't present a whole lot of information to the jury to really relegate the Mann Act in their mind to what it really was about. I think even the jury got caught up in the abuse and thought the abuse was part of the Mann Act idea, and that's why they gave him guilty verdict on the Mann Act. I think if they had fully been explained what the Mann Act was totally involving, and the prosecution didn't prove that, I don't think he'd have gotten guilty on any accounts, man. I think he would have gotten a no guilty on all accounts. Because the way I'm listening to it seemed to be really hinged. If the prosecution did today what they did the whole 8 months, they didn't prove Mann Act in the slightest. They proved domestic abuse. Right. If he was being tried for that video in the elevator beating her up and shit, he'd have been done. Done. Domestic abuse, he'd have gotten 50 years if it was just domestic abuse.
Right.
But under the Mann Act, because of the constituted way it's built, they wouldn't have given him that, because they really couldn't. And this is why I think Judge Aaron could not have given him more time. He knows in his mind that the Mann Act wasn't proven. He knows this. But in order to satisfy all things that he had in front of him, he had to give him some time. He couldn't get him off until 14 months.
Yeah.
He had to do that.
Wow. So
yeah.
So did you get to doing the interviews while you was there?
No, everybody dipped as soon as it happened, man. Like I came downstairs, and if I show you back, this is where people would normally line up. Look it out there. You see that?
Yeah, gone.
No, everybody, pew!
It's empty.
So where's everybody at now? Ain't nobody going live?
Tisa's over there still, and one other lady next to her.
So you don't think there's no chance that Tisa will talk to you?
None. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this, right? I walked around the corner to go look, and as soon as I tried to breach that corner, the bodyguard stepped up to the side of her.
She got a bodyguard.
And looking right at me. They know who I am.
They
know.
Wow.
Yeah, they know.
I'll tell him, say, what's up, man?
And I'm coming to New York to be able to leave. Look, okay.
Shout out to all my
I don't know if I told you this, but I'm going to let y'all know. I got here last night, right? driving to my hotel. 2 people were already on the ground shot.
In Washington State.
Man,
I passed an ambulance situation with 2 people shot on the floor, bleeding out. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, I'm not walking at night. I'm gonna be in my hotel. I'm not doing that. I'm good.
Hollywood. What is, man?
Hollywood. Hey.
Yo,
Hey,
Holly.
Holly.
Look at Marlon Brown. Look at Marlon Brown. Yo, Marlon Brown, what you doing in my city, dog? What you doing in my city, dog?
Hey. Did we nail it or did we not nail it with the time frame that he was going to
I
get?
learned how to do streaming.
Yeah.
Hey, Hollywood nailed it too. He said 5 years.
I said 5 years. You did a little better than what I expected. But Marlon, you bleeding right in. You looking like a New York out there.
So he got 3.
It's cold.
I see
Yeah,
you.
I gotta dress warm.
Okay.
I got to dress warm.
Yo, it's so funny, man, because Marlon, see, this is the difference between him and Tisa Tells Live. You saw how I saw y'all have when Corey put her on the screen. You see how she sat right up there, came out of the same courtroom Marlon came out of, and had a totally different had a totally different report. This is why y'all stay on her neck.
Hollywood. No, she didn't, man. Don't lie on that woman now. We gotta give her the credit. They didn't have the same. She didn't say that.
5 years.
So that's true. That's true.
Listen, Corey. Now, here's the thing. Oh, let me give a little insight, because I know a little bit about Westmoreland, right? This may or may not have anything to do about her being emotional. But you have to remember, Westmoreland is actually a SA victim. She by a rapper.
Oh.
Yeah, she the lawyer, the one that was defending Diddy, actually was in an SA suit with someone from Baby, you know, Baby, Cash Money, his crew. She had a case against him. She was an SA victim. So she's a little emotional. But you see how Tisa, she's like clowning Westmoreland. But Marlon's saying she shouldn't have did that, but he's not clowning her. You see the difference? You see the difference? How he's not clowning Nicole Westmoreland. He's just saying he don't think that was the right approach. But T says, you see her crying. I mean, come on. You know, it's like, it's a difference. It's a difference in objective reporting. That's what I appreciate about you, Brown. You out there looking sharp.
But thank you, man. But here's the flip side too, right? If she is a victim of SA, wouldn't that be victim shaming?
Yeah.
As a part of Tisa, wouldn't that be victim shaming if Tisa's doing that?
Right.
But that's different, right? That's different.
Of course. It's different because she was mad. Like when she found out
with the thing, wanted to see. Hey y'all, hey. Daily Sits. So listen, guys, thanks for tuning in. I wanted to share that with you. So the lesson learned from this is the lesson that I've learned from this is, what is it to have everything but have nothing? You know, so what does that do? So fantastic Friday. You had to go eat. Me too. No, I ain't eat. I just put my my fish in the air fryer. And what you call it? I wanted y'all to I wanted to see that. So you see how many years he got?
Did you see hey Marad? Hey girl, did you see Marad?
I did. Actually, I made it.
You had fish too? Did you ever try swordfish? Swordfish is so good. Well, like I said earlier, it don't matter. He gotta deal with his maker. That's that part. So human can give him the time, that little 5, whatever like that. But what God got for him, you know, you can't have that. He arrogant and everything like that. He don't have no remorse because he is Puff Daddy. But in jail, you not Puff Daddy. In jail, you 79621 That's what you is. You know, so he got to worry about all the things that's going to visit him because when you get down on your luck, boy, and I'm just saying, I didn't get down on my luck there, but just me doing my journey of me being ill, you know what I'm saying? It make you, that's like being in jail. Really, actually, if you don't have a quality of life. Yeah, I wanted to close my gap, but they said I'm gonna have teeth like Mr. Ed if I put crowns on them. So yeah, I wouldn't want to be him. I know that much. Swordfish is good. It tastes like a chicken texture, but it's like you know how turkey you gotta put a lot of seasoning on it. You gotta put a lot of seasoning on that. So lemon, I use lemon on there, and Mrs. Dash lemon season. I use a little butter, and I use some grapeseed oil, a little Old Bay seasoning, and then I got that Kinder's garlic butter seasoning. I put that on there, and I boiled it on 450 for 20 minutes. And it's like, oh, it's so succulent. Oh man, one day I went to the Renton Terminal because I did a video from Renton Terminal. I go there to get my fish and stuff. I gotta figure out when I'm gonna get there. Gotta get there soon. But I just seen that in the case, and then the Koreans when they cut their fish, they cut it like a uniform, like petite. So whatever is left over, they put it in like a tray, and they sell that for cheaper, right? So that swordfish is like $25.99 a pound. I get the sword ends from where they cut all of it, and what's the name and how they make it fillet, whatever's left over. So I get that for, I think that's like $5.99 a pound. So yeah, and put it in the broiler. So I had some salad at the hospital the other day. I had mixed greens, spinach, walnuts was on it, cranberries and fresh strawberries, and some feta cheese that was so good, and some balsamic dressing. Oh man, that was So I got me some of that lettuce. I'm missing one thing, and that's the feta cheese. I still eat cheese. I don't eat as much. I eat some fake, and I eat some fake cheese. And then after I eat that, and I be like, yo, I'd rather not have no cheese at all. If I got it there, I can do like the mushrooms for chicken and stuff like that. But all that other shit, I can't. That other stuff is crazy. That cheese don't melt. Let me turn this off. He gonna suffer though, dude. Cause they gonna mess with him, yo. That's a bad situation to be almost 60. I'm serious. On that hard ass thing, and you used to laying on a what you call it? His bed, his mattress is like $75,000. Did you see on Ashanti and Nelly when they went and tried out new beds? And I think the bed was like $100,000 and stuff. He jumped up off of it. He was like, I don't want that bed. No, that was funny. He asked the salesman, they lay on it to try it out. He asked the salesman, he was like, how much is this? He said, this is the top of the line. He was like, it's 100 and some thousand. He said 100 and something. You got to be kidding. And he told her, he was like, I don't need no bed that costs that so much. She said, no, but you got to take care of your body. She was like, your body, you got to make sure you get Your body is right, yo. That was crazy. That was some funny stuff. That was funny. So, girlfriend, thanks for tuning in, and I'll be over there to see you. And I'm gonna try to do some kind of something on Sunday, because I did say I was gonna do a meet me in the kitchen and post some herbs. I'm gonna post some herbs. I got some herbs from, I can't think of the lady. I think it's Tracy's Learning. Yeah, Tracy's Learning. She got all the herbs and everything, but she got a lot of land, boy. A whole bunch of land. One day. Yup, they got it. Yeah. So that's that. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna eat something and take it down, because I went to Walmart today and they didn't have that little burger. I was going to do a live, but they ain't had a burger thing, so I had to walk. So I walked with the cart, so it wasn't that bad. I just was real slow. I think I was in that store for 3 hours. I took one step at a time. Boy, did I. My legs is like, whew, but they said keep moving, don't stop. So I did that, and I'm going to grub and take it down. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do a little house keep up. And I'll hit you up later. I got a little note for you, too. I'll send it to you. I got to send it to y'all. So love you, girl. I'm coming down south for Christmas for sure. For sure. Yeah, I'm looking for an Airbnb. She live in North Carolina. Who I'm talking to. So yeah, I want to buy a Christmas tree from there, or like where you cut it, y'all. There's a lot of trees there. You probably can just go somewhere and just cut it down. Yeah. All right. So I'm going. I got almost an hour and 40 some minutes, and y'all shout out. I got 771 subscribers. I need a lot of watch time though. I just don't like to come on here and just be talking to myself. I talk to myself in the house. But I don't like talking to this like this, and there's nobody here to say, right. So I appreciate y'all. Yeah. Blessings up, prayers up, blessings down. And then I got teeth, right? I got these two prosthetic things over here. When I tell you, if you gotta wear that whole rack of teeth, you in trouble. I swear you in trouble. You gotta take care of your because the taking had to do that. I gotta do that on the side, but it's only like a little piece, and it got a silver, but it took and irritated my gum. But when you put it in there, I can really see my face sits out. I can tell the difference because the two teeth is missing right there. So that's another tidbit. Brush, floss. Take care of your furniture. You only get it one time. And those rack of teeth is not good. See y'all. Cause a rose is still a rose. Baby girl, you are a flower. So yeah. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Bye-bye. No, I won't say bye-bye. I'm gonna say later.